What is cybersecurity? We hear about it in the news all the time. We're looking at it as a career we think we might want to get into. But what is it really? It's not necessarily all about hackers and breaking into stuff and all kinds of things like that, like you see in the movies. It is a lot more than that. It is partly that, but it is a lot more than that. There's actually a much larger, all encompassing concept around cybersecurity. I just plugged into Google, what is cybersecurity? And the first page that came up was this page by the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency. Cybersecurity is the art of protecting networks, devices, and data from unauthorized access or criminal use, and the practice of ensuring confidentiality, integrity, and availability of information. This is key right here. We call it the CIA triad: confidentiality, integrity, and availability. That is really what cybersecurity is all about, especially from a professional point of view. If you want a career in cybersecurity, it is going to have something to do with ensuring the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of information. So, what do those three words mean when it comes to cybersecurity, right? Well, there's the protecting of the confidentiality, which basically means keeping the secrets secret, right? You don't want your credit card number to be leaked to the bad guys who can then use it to run up a bunch of charges and ruin your credit possibly, right? You don't want your personal emails to be leaked and read by everybody. You don't want your social security number or your possibly your Google search history or your text messages or whatever, right? We all have a lot of information in our lives that we want to keep confidential. Companies have a lot of information that they want to keep confidential also. Governments have information that they want to keep confidential, and governments will even classify their information, right? You've heard of classified information, things like secret, top secret, and so on. Protecting the confidentiality of all of these things is a big part of what cybersecurity is about. Defense contractors as well, for any nation, has secrets that they don't want their enemies on a nation state level or their adversaries and competitors in the marketplace to get. They want to protect that information. Apple, when Apple's about to release a new version of the iPhone, everybody wants to know what secrets are in it. All the competition wants to know months or year in advance what kind of technology is going to be in it so they can launch competitive features and put together a marketing plan. This is a big deal. There's big money involved. There are sometimes lives at risk in protecting the confidentiality of information. There's also integrity, protecting the integrity of information. What would happen if somebody broke into your bank and adjusted their database so that your bank account read zero and their bank account had all the money in it? That is a big problem. You don't want the integrity of your data to be compromised. You don't want the accounting system of your company to have the numbers fiddled with. You don't want your electronic grade books in the school where you might teach or where your kid might go to school to be attacked and have someone's grade increased or decreased unfairly. There are lots of applications for protecting the integrity. Also, you don't want your computer to be adjusted such that it does something that you don't want, such as to spy on you or to download ransomware or viruses. You don't want the software that you are running to secretly have malicious features inserted into it. You want your software to be exactly as it was intended to be from the manufacturer, from whoever you legitimately downloaded it from or bought it from. These are all important aspects of protecting the integrity of information. And then finally, there's availability of information. And this one I feel doesn't get nearly enough attention. Availability of information. What if you're in the hospital and the doctors need to see your records to see what medications you've been given because they want to give you something else and they want to make sure it doesn't conflict or have side effects or have any interactions, and the computer system's down because it got ransomware and everything was encrypted and the bad guys are asking for millions of dollars, and even if the ransom is paid, it's going to take days or weeks to get the data restored and everything back up. That's a big problem. Protecting the availability of information is a big deal. What if you work at a factory with a production line and you are using just-in-time manufacturing? You've got this ERP, Enterprise Resource Planning system, all set up so that it keeps track of how many widgets you've built and it automatically orders the parts you need to build the next widget, and they arrive just before you need them so that everything is ready to go, the production line is moving smoothly, and the ERP system goes down because it got ransomware, because some bad guys just logged in and deleted everything, because it got some misbehaving virus which overloaded and crashed the system, whatever. There are some companies who lose millions of dollars a day when their assembly lines are down. These things need protection also. Availability of information is very important. It's not as sexy, it doesn't get as much play as especially confidentiality or even integrity, but availability is important. If a company gets, for example, ransomware, all their data is encrypted, it would be nice if they could restore a backup, right? So they don't have to pay the ransom. They could restore a backup, go to a known good point in the data, just put it all back. But are backups even being done? Are the backups being tested? Were there redundant systems in place? Was there, if a hard drive fails, is that going to crash everything? There are a lot of aspects to look at in terms of availability of information. So that is really what cybersecurity is. Cybersecurity is about protecting the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of information. And as you pursue a cybersecurity career, you are going to find that in one way or another, pretty much all of your efforts, whether you're writing a program or testing a program or installing security software or configuring a firewall or going through compliance paperwork to make sure that you've done all the things that were supposed to be done, or taking backups or restoring backups, all of your activities in the cybersecurity field are in one way or another going to contribute to the protection of the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of critical data. That's what cybersecurity is about.